Alright guys, before we jump into today's video, I did want to shout out Fade Me, the merch brand we have here on the channel. If you want to support what we're doing here, help us grow, and get some good merch at the same time, make sure to check it out, fademe.store. You can use code FADE and you get a discount at checkout. Thanks for supporting, go check it out. Now let's get to the video.
All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday to everyone out there. It is September 25th. We only have 4 MLB games to jump into on today's slate. Like we always do, we're going to go through each and every game, all 4 of them. I'm going to give you my lean or leans on the games, but all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself, those will be in the pinned comment if you do want to fade my picks. In terms of last night, we had to sweat it out, but we'll take the profitable night. There we go, 3 and 2. The Diamondbacks, Orioles, and Rangers all come through for us. The Rays and the Brewers do not. The Rays almost did. They were up at one point in that game. They ended up blowing the lead. The Brewers didn't ever really look all that great. But we do have another positive note. Like I said, we'll take the profit, and our ride of the day coming in from Multi, that cashes as well. The Rangers team total over 2.5 first 5. I believe they scored like 6 or 7, so that was a no sweat right there. Shout out to Multi, guys. If you do want to be the ride of the day, all you got to use is that hashtag ride of the day in the comments with an absolute banger of a pick, and I'm jumping on board with one person's pick, win or loss. You guys get a shout out in the next video here. But yeah, we'll take it. I mean, the ride of the day cashed. We had a 3 and 2 night. We'll take the profit. If you watched our Sunday Night Football video, that wasn't all that great, but nonetheless, this is baseball. Let's stay on the track here. Guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button before we do jump into today's games. Hit that like button as well. We're approaching 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. I think we're only like 200 and change away, which is like absolutely mind-blowing. But go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you have not yet, and let's jump into game number 1 here. We're looking at the Yankees taking on the Diamondbacks. So this is the last of the 3-game series here. Yankees win game number 1 7-1. Diamondbacks win game number 2, which was yesterday, 7-1. So far so good in terms of 7-1 type of games. On the mound for the Yankees is going to be Clark Schmidt. He has been struggling a bit as of late. In his last 3 starts here, he's looking at a 5.4 ERA with a 1.26 whip, which isn't all that terrible. Going up against Merrill Kelly here, who's got a 4.6 ERA with a 1.4 whip in his last 3 here. I do think that I'm going to trust Kelly a tad bit more in their last 5 in terms of Yankees against righties, only batting .236, averaging 3.2 runs per 9. With a sub 300 on base percentage, as opposed to the Diamondbacks here, 6.5 runs per 9, 288 average with a 345 on base percentage against righties in their last 5. They've also won 6 of their last 7 games. The competition hasn't been all that crazy, but I look for them to close out the series here. I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks on the money line. Total sitting at 7.5. I have a feeling that this one goes over, but it's just a feeling. Like, we saw a 7-1 and then a 7-1 game, right? Those are landing on 8. You have a total of 7.5 here, while the Diamondbacks have hit the over in 10 straight games, and the Yankees have done it in 3 straight and in 7 of their last 10. The fact that you're getting plus 100 odds over on Caesars tells me that books don't think a lot of runs are going to be scored in this game, but I beg to differ. I do think that, you know, even if so far we've seen one team show up in each of these games and the other one just sleeps through it, right? This is a game 3. I do think that both these teams at least contribute a bit, and we could see like a 5-3 type of a game or beyond. So give me the over 7.5 as well for even odds, plus 100 over on Caesars. I like the value there as well. Next game up, we have the Angels taking on Texas, and you know where I'm going with this one, right? This Texas team been winning us money as of late. Unfortunately, they're minus 185 over on DraftKings as your best odds right now, which is a little bit pricey for me. They have won 5 straight games. I think they're ramping up right at the right time. In terms of who's on the mound for them today is going to be John Gray. The team's 4-1 in his last 5 starts. He hasn't been pitching all that great. 3.2 ERA in his last 5, and when it comes to his last 3, 10.38 ERA, 10.38 ERA with a 2.31 whip. So maybe the fact that, you know, the Texas Rangers just kind of outpriced to this point is a good thing, because I'd be much inclined to take the Rangers in this spot, but Gray has not been pitching well. So maybe it's like we're dodging a bullet here, liking the Rangers, but saying that the price is a little bit too high to pay. I don't mind the over. The Angels obviously not really contributing as of late offensively, but it's a new series. Hopefully Gray can let up a few runs to them as well. And we know Texas is going to go out there and score a decent amount of runs. They've been absolutely crushing. And even if they just do what they've done for the majority of the season, they're averaging 5.55 runs for per game, which is absolutely absurd. And the Angels averaging 5.6 runs allowed. So if Texas can go out there and give you 5-6 runs, I think that the Angels should be able to squeak off, 3 or 4. I would have to think so, the way that John Gray has been pitching. So I'm going to lean towards the over here. That probably ultimately ends up being the only thing that I look for in this game. But again, I like Texas. They are going up against lefties. If you don't know, they have a pretty big discrepancy versus righties and lefties. Lefties ain't their forte. But the fact that they're minus 185 maybe is a good sign, because we've been hammering Texas as of late. This looks like it could be a bad spot for them. I liked it anyways, but the price is kind of, making me, kind of chalk the game away. So maybe it's a good thing overall, but I don't mind the over still, even with their struggles against lefties. All right, guys, before we continue on with the slate, I do want to talk to you about OddsJam. If you've not checked out OddsJam yet, now is the time to do so. Use the link in the pinned comment. You get 7 days free, but that's not all. You also get 25% off your first month if you use the code GUYBOSTON. We'll jump into OddsJam right here. This is their plus EV screen, which if you don't know what plus EV betting is, it is a really, really cool way of betting. It's a long-term profit strategy. Why would you buy a car down the street for $10,000 if you can walk down the street the other way and get it for $7,000? And this is all about getting the best price on sportsbooks. For example, here, New Mexico here in NCAA football this week, plus 580 on the money line over on FanDuel. The average odds are plus 491. You can see Caesars plus 460, DraftKings plus 470, FanDuel plus 580. You can get the best price possible with this plus EV tool, but what I think is the most unique tool and the guaranteed profit maker is the arbitrage betting tool, guys. We have been hammering it. In fact, I can even show you my bet tracker here. I've been dabbling with the arbitrage betting screen. You can see that it's no guaranteed profit here. In my record of 50% bets, right? So I'm betting one side and the other, we're having profit regardless of what it is. And if you don't know what arbitrage betting is, you should check out the video that's pinned to our channel. Just go to our channel. It pretty much is using 2 different sports books that have such a big discrepancy in the odds that you can take both sides of the bet and profit no matter what. For example, right here, if you do this one over on Cut, Utah plus 3.5 for the point spread, and then take Oregon State minus 3.5 over on FanDuel, you can actually make profit if you go in there and say you want to put in $100 on Cut. You'd win 194.34, and then on Oregon State you'd win 194.34, but only have to put up 90. So if that confuses you, I get it, but go check out that video, guys. This is a really, really cool tool, guaranteed profit. I love their arbitrage betting tool, and it's pretty much really like I guess like an algorithmically way of sports betting. It doesn't have the, I put a lot of work into research, but profit is profit, right? So go check out OddsJam, guys. Those are just 2 of the tools that they have over there. They have tons and tons of tools, whether you're, a daily fantasy sports player, pick'em player, prize picks player, that type of thing. They have tools like that for you. Just go browse around. You can use that link in the pinned comment. I would go shop around and just see if there's anything of interest to you over there. Let's go ahead and get back to the slate. We're looking at a good game here. I think this is the game of the night, which is not much competition, only 4 games. We have Seattle taking on Houston in this one. Right now, Seattle, slight favorites at home. And just look at the implications here. Look at this. We're looking at the wild card in the AL. Houston right now a half game above Seattle in that last wild card spot. This is going to be an amazing series, or at least should be. We have both of these teams have kind of struggled as of late. Houston lost 3 straight to the Kansas City Royals. Seattle losing 3 straight, getting swept by Texas here. I think I'm going to lean towards Houston, though. They have Justin Verlander on the mound. Luis Castillo's pitching for Seattle, so I don't want to say that, Houston Astros have the biggest of edges here, but I do think from an offensive standpoint, Houston bats righties a little bit better than Seattle does. Not greatly better, but a little bit better here. And Seattle obviously just, kind of went through that huge rut. They only just swept Oakland to kind of get out of that rut. I don't know if they're fully de-rutted, whereas Houston has to be fired up. They're playing fine baseball. They played Baltimore, dropped that series, right? 2 series around that, they played against Kansas City, dropped those. They were playing fine before that, and then all of a sudden it's like that against Kansas City. So you have 2 teams struggling, battling for the spot here. Give me Houston at least in game number 1 here on Verlander's back. I will say, guys, if you are on the Seattle side in this game, don't take that off your board on the count of me. You know what I mean? This is going to be a good game, I believe. And I think that, you have 2 good pitchers with experience going out on the mound. And, you know, may the best team win. I think it's going to be very interesting. Total sitting at 7.5. I have to lean towards the over. I know we have good pitchers on the mound, but like these two teams are going to live and die by, at least as of late, I should say, their offense, right? Like they have stud pitching, and I get that. But when they were both going on their stretches where they were winning a bunch of games during the year, it's because they were scoring a bunch of runs. Like that is, I guess, the regular season way of winning baseball games, right? Come playoff time, they'll rely on their studs and their pitching and their bullpen and closers a lot more. We get that. But right now, we're still in the regular season. These teams are thinking offense, if I had to guess. And you get that for plus 100 over on DraftKings right now. So I think sportsbooks are thinking for this one, and then as well as I think it was the Yankees game, right? Like late in the year, these teams are buckling down. No, I still think that they have an offensive mindset. So if this one is a 2-1 game, then maybe we reconsider that strategy. But right now, I do like the over 7.5 a lot for plus 100 odds. In our last game on the slate here, San Diego gets back on the win train. They've now won, I think it's 10 of their last 11, 9 of their last 10 for sure. Going up against San Francisco. On the mound for San Francisco is going to be Logan Webb, who's been pitching really well. Actually, his worst start was his last start against Arizona. Prior to that, he's been pitching phenomenally. In his last 5, with that start included, he's got a 1.8 ERA. But he's going up against Blake Snell, who has 2 starts against the San Francisco Giants this year. 0 earned runs in both of those. He's combined for 19 strikeouts. In fact, even if you want to pull his most recent start against them last year, he's yet to let up a run in his last 3 starts against this Giants squad. And you have San Diego here at minus 112 on the money line. For whatever reason, it seems like it could be a slight trap here, but I'm going with San Diego. They have Blake Snell, obviously the better pitcher here, even though Logan Webb is a good pitcher. I like them in the spot. They've been playing really good baseball. Like I said, this just seems like it could be a potential trap. Like I don't think the Giants, they've only won, 2 or 3 of their last 10 games here. In their last 5 against lefties, they're batting 191, averaging 2 runs and 1.8 hits per 9. Like, come on. And you're going up against Blake Snell. Why does this one seem so easy? Total sitting at 7. I also like the over here as well. You know, I think Vegas may have us by the you-know-whats with these 7.5 and 7 lines today because, hey, I'm the one wearing the Fade Me shirt. They're the ones setting the lines. But again, that just seems too low to me. But I'm much more inclined to pull the trigger on Blake Snell and the Padres here. He has a really good record against them. Their offense is better, and they're playing better baseball right now. Them being the away team is kind of the only thing that I would look at and say, okay, well, that is maybe a problem. They're batting slightly worse when they're away than when they are at home. But nonetheless, give me the over as well as San Diego. I do think that, San Diego has a strong chance of being a final play, guys. If you're still watching at this point, comment 12. Thank you for the support. Small slate. There's probably not a lot of MLB interest today, especially with Monday Night Football, but we have a couple Monday Night Football videos out today as well. Yeah. And we'll catch you guys in the next video, guys. We're not forcing anything today either. 4-game slate. Even if you had a bad MLB day yesterday, don't force anything on a 4-game slate. We might have 1, maybe 2 plays tonight, right? It's a 4-game slate. Woosah. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.